How you doing, folks? It's Robert from Idaho ATV Touring, your do-it-yourself guy. I've got the left side of my Polaris RZR 570 tore apart. The axle is very easy to pull out. You just go bank, 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 bank. C-clip lets go. It comes right out. Now I just wanted to show you what I'm doing today. Cleaned all the old grease out of it, but in taking the shock off and the torsion bar off, see how I'm able to drop the A-arm down so far, force grease into the zerks, bring it up, force grease into the zerks, bring it up, force grease into the zerks, and then you keep working it, forcing grease in there, forcing grease in there. Pretty soon your sleeves and everything are totally greased up real nice. In doing this, you can also test to see if your bushings, because if you feel any play in there, that means your bushings or your sleeves are worn out. Same thing with the bottom. It's totally relaxed down, force grease into it, force grease into it, force grease into it, force grease into it, force grease into it. You gotta keep cleaning it up as it keeps pooping out, and then you work it back and forth, and your A-arms get good and greased. Now here you can also test back and forth, pulling on all my sleeves and all my bushings are good, because I've already done this once to it at 700 miles. So I've got about 1,000 miles since I've done it last. And of course my bushings and my sleeves are actually all perfect. So I got a good lube going there. Good start to the season. Now, in pulling out the axle, I just want to show you something. Mind you, I've already cleaned it once. Like I say, it's 700 miles. And when you pull it out and you look, you can see that there's a lot of grit and dirt. A lot of grit and dirt gets in there. And what that does, it'll wear down these splines. And you come over here, and this is where it goes into the wheel bearing. And you can see how all the dust and water and everything gets in there, and it'll wear down your splines. And you look inside the wheelbarrow in here at the bearing carrier, and you look at the wheel bearing, you can see all that dirt that gets inside there, because see, this is all open right here around your CV, and you need to get in there, you need to clean that out. And you look at the front where the carriage bowl was, you get a lot of debris in there, and you got to clean it out, and you got to force some grease through there to push any dirt that's getting in where the seals are, and force that new grease in there, and it'll just squirt out the side. Nothing's perfect, so it'll just squirt out the side, no problem. It won't mess up the seals. I use a machine integrated greaser, specially made for Polarises. The rear actually fits all Polarises, but the 570 has a special one for the front bearing. It seems like they have a larger bearing millimeter inner diameter on the front. Now, what I'm going to do here when I get done is when I put all the bolts back together, I'll be using anti-seize on them. And I'll use anti-seize on all the bolts as I put it all back together. And I'll lube everything up accordingly and put anti-seize on the splines, so that if there's ever an issue with the splines, and when it comes time to replace them, or if they snap off or got off on those reasons, they come right out. You don't have to worry about them being froze in there. They'll just pop right out. But get in there. You don't have to keep everything lickety-split clean on your rig. It does help to power wash your rig when you're done with it. But these rigs are meant to be dirty, but they're meant to be lubed. They're meant to be greased up. They're meant to be free, interior free of debris. It's like a race car. You gotta get in there, you gotta take it apart, and you gotta put it back together before every race. And of course, the race starts here in 2 weeks on the 14th, when I get up there and try and get into the Steamboat Springs to do all the wonderful water crossings in there, or the 801. Do some big water crossings there in the Coeur d'Alene Ranger District, Panhandle of Idaho. So after I get done, of course, I'm gonna spray brake cleaner in the caliper, clean the brake caliper out, brake pads out. So I'm gonna clean the rotor. I'm gonna clean the interior splines here. Interior splines here. You can see all the debris that's inside that spline there. Get that all cleaned out. Get this all cleaned out, lube it all up, and put it all back together real nice and tits. Total time on this side is probably going to end up being about 4 hours also. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, and I believe my rig is going to be bomber and trustworthy all summer and spring and summer long. Have a great day.